Hello again, it's your friendly neighborhood host JT Wheatley back for another episode of the History of Hollywood podcast. This time with another edition of the classics with The Score by Richard Stark and adapted by Darwyn Cooke. This time, as in the previous The Hunter and the Outfit books that Darwyn Cooke adapted from the classic Richard Stark Parker novels, we find Parker joining a crew that set out to rob an entire mining town that first looks like it's going to naturally go off without a hitch, but of course things get complicated as every one of the criminals he worked with isn't quite as professional as Parker. Once again, Stark's story is beautifully adapted by Darwyn Cooke with both the gritty noirish art that Cooke's art works perfectly for and just getting the rhythm of the crime in general. And as usual, even though Parker is a criminal and a killer through and through, he's a very professional one. You kind of root for them, especially when it's revealed that Parker, while he will kill someone if he has to, it's only when he has to. And that's what makes him, well, you still root for him. He's a bad guy, but he's one of the better bad guys. So what are you going to do? Just a great... I can never call him an anti-hero. Parker is a criminal, and he is a bad boy, but he's one of those guys you just kind of like rooting for. And once again, this is a continuing series that Darwyn Cooke was doing right before he passed away, sadly, of cancer a few years later, but this is still a classic adaptation of one of the great crime novels series of all time by Richard Stark. So yeah, if you're looking for another great adaptation of a crime novel, check out The Score by Darwyn Cooke, because that is a true classic.
Look, we gotta talk.
Yeah, Thunder Talk.
We're going all kinds of sideways with that sweet nerd junk.
Woke nerd junk.
It's topical.
Political.
Dare I say radical.
We've got all your latest news and reviews.
Hot music.
And a whole lot of comedy.
But it ain't for kids.
Definitely mature content.
So let's talk.
Let's talk Thunder Talk.
Thunder Talk is a proud member of the ESO network.
Now is August 11th, 2022, time for the favorite comic of the week. Wolverine, number 23, by Benjamin Percy and Adam Kubert. Which, this is a bit of a late pickup for me, because this has actually been out for a few months now, but this is the conclusion of a fantastic story arc in which Wolverine and Deadpool teamed up to track down Danger, the erstwhile robot that emerged from the original Danger Room from the X-Mansion, only to find her at the X-Mansion with some interesting secrets, along with Deadpool himself revealing a few of his own. This is just a great fun read that really shows what the Wolverine-Deadpool dynamic works so well, with Wolverine, of course, playing the straight man to Deadpool's craziness. And you have to love how Deadpool even tries to take over the comic book, even with the recap section, where you're reading the standard recap, and he's actually written over with red ink about what he really wants. It's that classic Deadpool feel that he brings to every comic book. When writers get him right, he's one of the most enjoyable characters in all the comic books. And it's just combined with Adam Kubert's gorgeous art. There's a classic professional through and through. And it's just a fun read in general. There's a great showing off the Wolverine Deadpool dynamic. Danger, of course, is one of the more interesting villains to come out of the X-Men universe in recent years. And Kubert, he really does a great job with the art in general, especially when Wolverine and Deadpool have a crazy team up towards the end of the comic. You won't see this coming, but it's a ton of fun. So yeah, if you're looking for a great fun comic book that shows off the Wolverine-Deadpool dynamic, look no further than Wolverine number 23. And with that, we'll conclude this edition of the Classics. Join me again next week. Well, it's probably going to be another edition of the Classics. And until then, go out and enjoy yourself a good comic book. If you can, check out The Score by Darwyn Cooke, because that is a true classic.